Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream and welcome back to the channel for more Destiny 2 news and intel. And in today's video, we're going to be going over a very easy 450 power glitch and farm that will, I think, come in very useful for all solo players. And though you might have heard bits and pieces of this talked about before, even on my channel, I don't see anybody consolidating it all into one method that everybody can use at any point and will help you no matter what part of the power journey or armor journey that you're on so far in Edge of Fate. So in today's video, we're going to go through all the different points about how to best utilize this farm and glitch. There's actually a couple of glitches that you can use. So if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell to post notifications so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2 content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram. It'll be linked in the description box down below. Remember, any of those things I just mentioned also enter you into any future giveaways on this channel, and we do one every 1,000 subscribers, so you never want to miss out. And when we reach 100,000 subscribers on the channel, we'll be giving away a new console or video card if you play on PC. Almost 70% of those who watch my channel regularly are still not subscribed, and remember, subscribing is free, and if you would like to support the channel, it is the easiest way to do so. You can also, of course, if you'd like, leave a donation or become a channel member, and if you do so, not only will you receive more entries into the next giveaway, but you'll also receive a personal friend request from myself and a shout out on a future video. We'll do some more shout outs towards the end of today's video, so stick around for that if you are somebody who has contributed. Thank you all so much for all the support as of late. All right, so now let's get into it. Now, the number one thing about this farm that you're going to want is a particular mod, and that is when you're actually setting up the portal activity. Now, in this case, we're going to be doing Skywatch, but at the moment, because Solstice of Heroes is active, you really just want to do whatever mission has the Solstice engram appearing on it in the portal screen. The next thing you want most of all, and this is going to be essential, is this mod, Fired Up. Now, what the mod says it does is not actually what it does. The mod says that you get basically more damage from doing solar kills and things like that. So anything that's solar is going to be really good. And I would recommend using solar 100% if you're farming this out. But what it's actually doing is giving you infinite heavy ammo. I don't know why that is. It's a 100% glitch. So this allows you to run through any of these activities in a matter of 5 minutes. And because Solstice is going on, not only are you getting double the tier rewards on anything that is a holofoil, but you'll also be getting really good power from it. So you're just going to be farming any of these activities out, whatever the one is on a particular day. It was Caldera, that's a very easy farm. Skywatch is also really easy. Any of these are really going to be incredibly easy, especially if you have that mod equipped and you're getting infinite heavy. Now, the modifiers you put together in order to get an A tier, that's up to you. I know that some people talk about just getting a B plus tier and getting that last bar halfway full. That's totally fine. I think it works the same. I usually, just for argument's sake, always try to make it an A tier just to be safe, because if you don't complete the objective, it's not going to really be a matter of whether or not you get a B plus or an A. You're not going to get either. So make sure that you always complete the objective. Usually it's, get so many ability kills or so many weapon kills with a certain type, that kind of thing. It's usually very easy to do, but I always just like to make sure that it's an A tier anyway, just because. There's been a few times where I think I've had it about halfway through on a B plus tier and it still hasn't given me the reward that I want. I don't think there's really any difference. Most people say there isn't any difference. You still get the A tier at the end, but I leave it up to you as far as what you want to do in that case. I know some people don't want to have more modifiers on than they need to just to make it a little bit faster, but when you're getting infinite heavy, I don't think anybody's going to really have too much of a problem anyway. So that's the thing that you want to have equipped, and as you can see in these clips, I get infinite heavy ammo almost immediately. And anytime, even though I'm using the modifier that takes off my starting ammo, you still start off with a primary. I would make sure that that primary is solar. The new submachine gun from Solstice is absolutely insane. In fact, all the Solstice stuff is pretty good. But I would say the major standouts are the submachine gun and the grenade launcher. Look for a grenade launcher with Slice hatchling on it. It is incredible. Those aerial denial grenade launchers are just top tier at the moment. And if you can get one with Slice and hatchling on it, I mean, it basically activates those things in the air if there's a floating enemy, or if it just happens to land on something that's a little bit higher up on the ground than just enemies on the ground. It's a very strange archetype, I have to say, the aerial frame grenade launchers, but I absolutely love it. So look out for one with that on it. And as far as the submachine gun goes, you can get one with Heal Clip and Incandescent. I think there's another burning modifier or perk that you can get on it that's essentially the same as Incandescent, and it does roll in the same column. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Let me know in the comments section down below the name of that perk that I'm forgetting. It's essentially like Incandescent, though I think it can take a little bit longer to activate, but maybe slightly higher reward when it does. Both of them are going to be really, really good, especially if you have Heal Clip on it. So just make sure to have a solar weapon in your primary, and then I would say have your heavy weapon also be a solar weapon. It's not going to matter what your heavy weapon is, but having it be a solar weapon will just continually rebuff that mod. So I was using the Gjallarhorn, but there are, of course, options if you want to use one of the new weapons. You can always use that if there's anything in your build that's particular to. So that's basically the best way to be farming out every single one of these activities at the moment. And remember, because Solstice is active, anything that drops as a holofoil is going to be a tier 5. And you're going to be getting a ton of power so long as you have that A rating at the end. That's the only thing that matters. A rating, make sure it's the Solstice mission for the day. So you'll see that Solstice engram when you select it through the portal. Make sure it's an A tier, make sure you have this mod on, and just have fun with it. It is by far the fastest tier 5 farm as well as power farm currently in the game, especially with that glitch active. So have fun. And there's another thing that I wanted to mention. Now, this is really only specific to, I think, Caldera, but there might be other ones in the portal that actually have this particular thing active as well. I don't really remember specifically if this was just for Caldera or not, but there is also a very easy shield break glitch that you can also use Gjallarhorn for, but really anything that does any sort of explosive damage. If you are playing the Caldera mission, you'll notice, of course, there are these things you have to shoot in order to activate those shield boxes and then blow them up inside. But you can actually just go right through the shield box by just shooting Gjallarhorn at it, or throwing one of the solar bomb things that we're getting now because of Solstice at it, or even throwing a tangle at it. Really, anything that's going to do any explosive damage, you can just throw it at the wall and it's going to blow up the bombs inside, and you'll be able to bypass that whole part of the mission. So that's another glitch that you can use just to make these things really, really fast. And again, if you're using Gjallarhorn and you're getting infinite heavy, it's a double plus. So essentially at the moment, because of Solstice, which in my opinion, though we didn't get Bonfire Bash, which I think is a little unfortunate because I think with the current reward modifiers that we're getting, Solstice would actually feel incredibly worth it for the very first time in a while, and the weapons are amazing, and the tier armor set stuff I think it's really working when it comes to this kind of events. And I think, you know, the power grind is serious, but I honestly find it very enjoyable, and it's keeping me playing and keeping me interested, and that sort of dual progress of getting more power, but that's not the only reason I'm farming for stuff, I'm also farming for stuff to just also get better armor and weapons. Like that whole process, the armor and the weapons, as well as that being involved in the power, that double progress, is very rewarding, I have to say. So that's just my opinion. Let me know if you think it's working. But I really enjoyed Arms Week last week, and I'm really enjoying Solstice this week. Even just playing solo, which I really kind of didn't do very often previous to the launch of Edge of Fate. I used to play solo all the time, but after you sort of get all the armor that you want and the weapons that you want, there's really only a reason to play with friends, because I think Destiny is really fun when played with friends. But right now, I am very much into the solo game of Edge of Fate because of the tier weapons and armor, as well as the power at the moment. And when I do reach the 450 power cap, I do believe I will be continuing to farm for really good tiered weapons and armor. So I just would be interested to hear everybody's thoughts and feedback, not only on Solstice, but just how they feel this sort of double progress is at the moment. And right now, why not do double progress and play Solstice, because I think it's probably the best thing that you could be doing at the moment if you're either trying to get better weapons and armor or you're trying to get power. One other thing that I did want to make mention of is the Solstice featured playlist Scorched. Now, if you scroll over it, you'll see that you're getting 2 of the distorted Solstice Ingrams, and these will also be possibly dropping at tier 5 if you can get a holofoil to drop. And with 2 being guaranteed at the completion of every match, your odds of getting a holofoil are much, much higher. Now, I've heard that this is also somewhat bugged and is dropping these rewards with even higher frequency, if you can imagine that. Either way, it's going to probably be similar results to running the solo ops with that Solstice distorted Engram being selectable. Make sure, again, that it's that playlist. I've also heard reports that these are dropping from other Crucible playlists. It doesn't have to be Scorched. Unconfirmed on that regard, so you can let me know in the comments section down below if you found you've been getting higher power or higher frequency in terms of tiered rewards from other Crucible playlists or from Scorched itself. Would like to hear your thoughts and feedback on that as well. Now, the last thing I wanted to show is not really related specifically to Solstice, but I did talk about it in a previous video. There is an old-fashioned loot cave kill farm if you're trying to get tier 5 armor and weapons. Now, in this particular case, this is not as, I would say, good as Solstice is at the moment, because like I said, anything that you get that's a holofoil drop will drop at tier 5, and holofoils are randomly dropped. Now, for me, when I was doing the Solstice farm, I was getting tier 4s every single time. There would be times where, at the end of just a Skywatch mission, I would get a tier 5 weapon or a tier 5 piece of armor. I would get a tier 4 piece of armor or weapon, and then I would also get like a tier 3 or 2 tier 3s drop. All of them would be relevant in terms of rolls. Tier 3 is going to have at least a decent roll. And, you know, the tiers sometimes, though you want the higher tiers because they have more options, sometimes a lower tier one will still have a better roll. So don't be afraid to delete the higher tier options just because they are higher tier, although I find myself throwing them in my vault a bit just because I like the holofoil look of them. But you were getting a lot of rewards from that. So at least 2 of them would be a power increase. Usually one would be like 4 power above, and one would be like 2 or 1 power above, and then the others would maybe be below, but you get some materials for that, or maybe sometimes you could upgrade another weapon. So I always try to keep all my weapons that I'm carrying on my character at least sort of in the same ballpark of power, just in case I want to swap them out in a particular activity. So it's always useful to have extra materials and extra loot drops just in case you need to upgrade. And in the case of this farm, and the reason why I wouldn't say it's the best at the moment is just because nothing is going to be dropping more than 200 power. But this is still one of probably the most passive ways to just farm out tier 5 loot or tier 4 loot, depending on what upgrades you have at the Altar of Reality. Now, once you hit 450 power, you'll be able to have the tier 5 mod unlocked from the Altar of Reality, and any yellow bar enemy that you kill at any point in Kepler, if you have the master difficulty equipped for the world tier and you have that upgrade, has a chance to drop a tier 5 piece of armor or a weapon. It'll only drop those things. So you really just want to find a place where there's a ton of yellow bar enemies that continually to spawn in, and this is that place. So I just thought I'd mention it again, as it's definitely something a little bit more unique, but after Solstice, I think this will probably still be one of the best farms, especially if you're getting towards that higher power. But that is going to be it for all the information in today's video. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, as I said before. You can also follow me on Instagram. It'll be linked in the description box down below. I'm always interested to hear all your thoughts and comments, so please leave that in the comment section down below for another entry into the next giveaway for this video. Love hearing all your feedback. So also, if you've watched till this point in the video, you can leave a hashtag Edge of Fate or hashtag Solstice of Heroes in the comment section for another entry. And before we go, just would like to give a few shout outs to all of those who have contributed to the channel in one way or another over the past month or two. I'm going to go in reverse this time. We're going to go Dot Rider. Thank you very much. We got Chris Caulfield. We got RKW. We got Killer Ninja. We got Dr. Squeaks. We got Green Mason. We got Deadpool. We got GA Nightmare. Sir, I keep trying to catch you every single time you join my party, and I always end up missing you. I really apologize for that. We got Gecko, whose voice is silky smooth, especially when you're in a day 1 raid with him. We got Tinnitus Bat, personal friend of the channel, always so supportive. Thank you. We got Real Daz, one of our best buds. We got our #1 best bud for years, Lord Sinister. We got Jade, our other best friend and man who I did not call an idiot in a Crucible match, but if I did, I apologize. Our buddy DJ Oros. We got Joakim Upling. We got Aaron Batts. We got Zach Attack. We got Ronald Johnson. We got Brizgafus. Sark Kamar. Great gaming with you earlier this week, sir. We will get another game going soon. We have Charlie Boy, a very close friend of not only myself, but also all the people I play with. We got Velvet Hammer, also a close friend of the channel. Rage Forever, thank you so much for being a friend of the channel, too. We got Chip and Soda. We got DG Striker. Big shout out to you, sir. Hope you're having a good day. We got our new and #1 go-to, C. John. I'll see you in the game later, buddy. We have Justin St. John. We have Nomad. Shout out to you, sir. We have Plucky Disco. We have Chris Scott. We have Shadow of Death, Sweden. We have Rabbidice. We have Jay Tally. We have Most Unknown. We have Steve Card, Richard Hartnett, Kenny Conrad, Vedi Sneaky, and SSJ Scoot. Hope you're having a good day, Scoot. And all the rest of you, thank you so much for all the support on the channel. For anybody who's watching, thank you again. And hopefully you have a good day farming this out. Get yourself some tier 5 holofoil weapons. Be on the lookout for that grenade launcher. And of course, we will see you next time. Later!